I absolutely love all of the eating the rich TikToks happening right now, but I'm seeing a lot of middle class things being listed, so I have a question. What's the most insane actual rich person behavior that you've experienced? Because mine is when I heard the mom of this family say, "Oh, I absolutely hate vomit. When my kids threw up on their bed or on their mattress, I just threw out the mattress and bought a whole new one." What? What's the most insane actual rich person behavior that you've experienced?
I don't know if people around the world actually know how much money there is in the world, because I've seen a lot of these things and it seems quite mediocre what people have experienced. I used to trade gold internationally, and we used to sell to investment firms, venture capitalists, just absolute royalty, like Saudi royalty. And I'll tell you right now, I've dealt with a person that lived in the Philippines that has more money in one of his bank accounts than Jeff Bezos has. And people don't understand this. There's public wealth, and then there's wealth that you'll never see or never hear of. That's the kind of shit that you need to worry about. The kind of wealth where they gift you 2 Rolls Royces for doing a deal with them.
What's the most insane actual rich person behavior that you've experienced?
When I was in college, I had a friend whose family was actually very wealthy. She was super sweet. She didn't act better than any of us, but she definitely had that wealthy person mindset. So, we were talking about how financial aid had been screwed up and I lost all my loans and scholarships. And so she asked why I didn't get my parents to do anything about it. And I said, well, I can't afford that. My parents don't make enough money. This girl literally grabs her cell phone, calls her dad, and says, "Hey, do you think you could drop a couple grand in order to pay off my friend's tuition this semester?" I got my tuition, and I graduated in the same semester.
What's the most insane actual rich person behavior that you've experienced?
Okay, part 2 of this billionaire's party that I attended that I had to sign an NDA for, but it was forever ago, so here we go. Okay, so they had a money machine there. I never thought I would find myself in a money machine, but I'm here to tell you I learned how to get all the money. So if you ever find yourself in a money machine, this is what you do. I have to get up to show you. Okay, usually when you see people in a money machine, they're grabbing, right? They're stuffing. No. You go to the corner of the money machine. Here's the corner. You press your body against the corner and you put your arms here and you lean back and money circulates and falls and it just starts piling. You're welcome.
What's the most insane actual rich person behavior?
My house was so big, I had to tell my dad dinner was ready by using the phone intercom system. And all of those dinners were 3-course meals prepared by a private chef. We had at least 7 employees in the house at all times, including security guards, and my mom always was terrified that there would be an inside job and I would be kidnapped. When my parents got divorced, I had to live in 4 houses at the same time, and somehow I would get in trouble because I couldn't keep track of all my underwear. One time we took a 30-minute commercial flight from Boston to Nantucket, and my dad hated the commercial flying experience so much, despite the fact that state police officers helped us through it. He had the private plane meet us in Nantucket to bring us back to Boston. I never had to go to the grocery store as a kid. There would be a pad of paper in the kitchen. If I wrote something down, it would just appear the next day. My parents' divorce made the news, calling my mom a gold digger, and the comments were full of men counting down the years until I turned 18. I wasn't allowed to put my last name on social media because people would track me down and kidnap me.
What's the most insane actual rich person behavior that you've experienced?
One time I legitimately watched Jake Paul buy 3 Lamborghinis and hired 2 drivers for 2 of them so that he could drive in one on the road, and at any time no paparazzi or person following him would know it was him in his car because he would have 2 other identical cars with drivers around him at the same time. And back in the day, anytime I wanted to leave his house, but I had to be back there later for something, he would legitimately make me leave in an Audemars Piguet watch so that I would have a $100,000 watch on my wrist that I would have to return and come back with. I've seen him order DaBaby 1942, an IV, a massage, and Riley Reid all to the same jet. One time I wanted to start a secret company with him, and I told him that I would only do it if he bought me an Escalade as the company car, and he bought an Escalade the same day. One time he was shooting a music video and only wanted a specific type of Maybach, and the only person in the world that had it was Drake, and they told him he couldn't have it, so he called Drake and Drake's team and paid to have the car the next day. Wedding ring was $300,000 and I lost it, but I guess that'd be my own insane behavior. Okay.
The most insane actual rich person behavior that you've experienced.
An infertile A-list celebrity found me on a modeling website. Apparently I look identical to her, so she reached out to a fertility clinic and had them reach out to me and offered me $50,000 for my eggs. So I get an email one day because on my Instagram back in the day, I had my contact email. It was from a fertility clinic. I obviously looked up the clinic. It was real, it existed. And the woman sounded very professional. And she said, hey, I know this sounds really out of left field, but you know, would you mind letting us tell you a bit about the process just to see if you would, you know, just be interested in hearing more information. So I'm a never say never kind of person. So I heard him out. Again, those darn NDAs, they could not tell me what A-list celebrity it was, but part 2.
What's the most insane actual rich person behavior?
So I used to date this Formula One driver, and one weekend it was Valentine's Day. He had a race and he asked me, hey, do you mind staying at the apartment just for like a couple days and watching the dog? And I was like, of course, I love Lambo, like I will stay at the apartment. I was honestly so excited because this apartment building was so fucking nice. But one of the days that I'm there, I go to take out Lambo. And as I'm letting him just kind of walk around outside, this guy comes up to me. And he is a YouTuber. I'm not going to say who he is unless this blows up, then I'll expose him. Brent. Not going to start drama. But anyway, he looks at me and goes, oh my god, is this Lambo? And I go, yeah, like it's Lambo. And he goes, oh my gosh, you must be the Gilhart's new maid, huh? And I'm baffled. And I just look at him dead in the eye and go, nah, actually, I'm Chase's girlfriend. And he goes, oh, okay. And fucking walks away. I have a lot more stories from that place, so let me.
What's the most insane actual rich person behavior?
Buckle up, y'all.
My house is so big that I have to have 3 routers and none of them are ever working. My mom's best friend took a private plane from Los Angeles to China because they didn't want to drive the extra 30 minutes from the regular commercial airport to their city. I once took a family day trip to Mexico because my parents wanted lobster. My family is currently gentrifying a neighborhood. My parents' love language to me when I was a child was naming a factory in China after me. I was able to do an economic impact analysis of reporting my rape, and it would affect a few major industries, both in the United States and China. When my parents got divorced, it caused a few murders, an extra unrelated felony charge, downfall of a few businesses, and a Ponzi scheme. No one ever really showed me true affection, so now all I know how to do is throw money at things.
What's the most insane actual rich person behavior that you've experienced?